In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the rear window regulator assemblies on this BMW 550i. These are going to be located behind the rear door panels. Let's get into it. Before you disconnect the battery, you want to put the window in this location if you can, pretty close to the bottom, about 4 inches from the base. In the trunk, we're just going to pull this spare tire cover up. We can access the battery under here. There's a push pin right here. This one just twists out. There may be another one on the side here. This vehicle doesn't have it. You just want to pop those out with a trim tool. And just grab this cover and it just twists out. Now we're going to disconnect the battery. Use a 10mm wrench. Loosen up the negative terminal. Take that off, slide that out of the way. On the side here, there's a little button. I'm just using a trim tool. Just pop this off. You can see there's a screw underneath there. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, take this screw out. Underneath here, there's another cover. Just take a trim tool, just get underneath it. Or you can use a straight blade screwdriver and pop that cover off. Using a Phillips head screwdriver, take the screw out. Now using a plastic trim tool, just get underneath and just pop out the clips. Go around the perimeter, and then the top, you just got to pull out, and then once you get that off, just going to slide up. There's a clip right there that you have to slide the panel up. Now we can disconnect the handle, just the cable, just slide under that clip, set that aside. Disconnect the connectors. Right here, there's a little light. Just pop that out. The speaker, disconnect that wire. There's a light right here. I'm just going to pull that outward. Piece of tape. There's a light down below. Just disconnect that light. If you need to, you can push it out. And we can twist the light out. It's a little easier. There's a connector right here. Just push down on the tabs. And we'll pull that out. There we go. Pushing these two little tabs to pop this out. You can use a trim tool or even a pick or a straight blade screwdriver if you need to. Pull this tape off, and using a trim tool, just get behind here, pop the retainers out. I'm going to take this clip off. I'm just using a trim tool or a push pin tool just to squeeze these little tabs. You could use some needle nose pliers. And pop that off. Set that aside. Take the vapor barrier off. We're just going to use a utility knife. We just cut the butyl tape. If you need to later, you can always add some more butyl tape if it's not sticking. Move the wires out of your way. Go around this clip. you go. We're going to remove this weather strip right here. Just use a trim tool. Just get underneath here. You might have to push back a little bit. Just be careful. Try not to bend it. Slide that out. Now pull this trim piece back. Just use a trim tool. Just pop this out. Just popping this out of the way. You just leave it like that if you want, or take it off completely. You want to remove these 3 screws. Use a Phillips head screwdriver. And just grab this channel, just very carefully, pull this back, pull this out. So we don't scratch the trim around the door, I'm just going to put a piece of tape right there. You just pull some of the weather stripping out of the way, or the window channel. We'll slide this up, just like that. Set that aside. We'll take this bolt out for the window. Use a T30 socket. And there is a stopper, so the window is not going to fall. Pull that out. Grab the window, slide it up. And carefully, we're going to pull the window out. You just kind of tip it outward slightly, just so it comes out of the channel on that side, and then it comes right out. And disconnect the connector. Just grab the connector. There's a tab on the back side. Slide that off. So you're just going to push down on that tab there. Then it should come out. Now using a E12 socket, we're going to take this screw out here. Take that out. Grab that bracket. I'm just going to push that forward onto the motor, so it clears that area, that brace. Through this hole, there's a bolt. You're going to use the same E12 socket. Just remove that bolt. There. Down below, there's a bolt. We're just going to use a 10mm wrench just to loosen it. We don't have to take it out. There is a slot. Just a few turns. You can grab the regulator, slide it up, and it comes right out. Now we'll take this bracket off the motor. Slide that off. Transfer that over to the new window regulator assembly. Get that lined up there. Now I'll take the regulator, put put it in position. Get the bottom part lined up. Get the top lined up. Take the screw for the top. And get that started. Snug that down slightly. And this lower one down here. Get that snug down. Move the bracket into position. Take that bolt, get that started. And snug that down. Tighten down the other bolts. And we'll torque those bolts to 70 inch-pounds. That's good. And it's a little tricky to access that one. Do the best you can. I'll just snug that down with a wrench. That's good. Now connect the connector. Lock it down. To keep this wiring connector out of the way, just because this has a longer harness, we're going to use a wire tie. Just twist the wire behind. Have the wire tie go around the motor. And just tighten that up there, just so it stays out of being crushed by the window. That's out of the way. And then we'll just trim the wire tie with some side cutters. Right there, that's good. Make sure nothing's rubbing. Take the glass, and slide that in place. Make sure you get it in the channel. Might have to go up and down a little bit. Get that to line up. And make sure the glass is in the bracket on the regulator. Take the bolts, get that started. Now we're going to torque that screw to 70 inch-pounds. Now take the channel, line this up, slide it down. There we go. It's lined up. Now take the weather strip, get that inside the window. We're just going to slide this down. Get that lined up and then push this back in place. If you put tape here, take that off. Push that channel all the way up. All right, that's all the way up. That looks good. And put these screws in. We'll get these all started first before we tighten those down. Just move this out of the way. Those are all started. Now we'll tighten them down. Just snug those down. All right, that's good. I'm gonna take this trim piece. I'm just gonna snap this into place. Snap that back on. Looks good. Now take the vapor barrier and just get that lined up. Make sure the wires go through here. And if you need some more butyl tape, put some more butyl tape on. Slide that over the clip. It should stick naturally. There we go. That's good. Some of the wires, we can push those back in position. This clip right here, this was bent down a little bit, so I'm just going to take a straight blade screwdriver, just bend this clip up just slightly. This is going to lock onto this, but we're going to install this on the door panel. So just make sure it's able to lock on. Just a little bit, you don't have to bend it much. Take this weather stripping, just get this lined up. And just push that in place. Press that down. There we go. It's all the way down. That's good. This clip is going to go right here. Push that in place. And get all the wires in the right location. Where the light is, that's going to go through that hole down below there. Put that tape around there. Take this light. It's going to go right there. Speaker connector. This little light's going to go here. Just line that up. It's just going to get pushed in place. And this connector under here. The handle, make sure the handle is closed. And that just slides on. Double check, make sure that works. Seems good. This connector is going to go in here. Connect that. I'll take the lock rod, slide that through. Door panel's all set. Get this lined up. Get that center clip to line up right there. And just tap it on. That's good. Take the light down below. Twist that into the lens and then clip that in place. Take the screw underneath and tighten that down. Snug. Take the cap, get that lined up, and push that on. Take this screw, line that up. Tighten that down. the little cap and push that on. And take the negative terminal, attach it to the battery. Now we'll tighten this down. And that's snug. Give it a wiggle, make sure it's tight. Take this cover. Position it in place. Take the push pin, slide that in place. If you had another one there, you want to push that in. And take this cover and let it down. Now we're going to initialize the window. You want to turn the key in the on position. Then we're going to roll the window all the way up. Then we're going to hold it in the up position for 5 seconds. And let go. Then we're going to push it all the way down, holding the button down. You want to get all the way to the bottom and hold that for 5 seconds. Then let go. And you can check your window. It should be initialized. It should go all the way up.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.